Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Monster Report, a show highlighting those entertaining creatures of film history. I'm your host, Nick Adam Poling, and today we've got a great live stream for you, and I want you to join in on the chat, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all those great things. We've passed the 90,000 subscriber milestone, and we're here now with our guests, which I'll bring in just a minute. The Monster Report also likes to highlight other kaiju content creators. I've had podcasters on here, people who have done artwork, who have done comics, who've done toys, all kinds of different content, and I like to bring them on the channel and see what kinds of input that I can get from them, and also give them a chance to plug away at their channel and they're in their outlet, because this is a great space. This is a great place for kaiju fans to get together and kind of talk about our kaiju upbringing, where it led us, how it led us to the point of having this outlet to talk about, our love of Godzilla, Gamera, Rodan, Mothra, all of these things. So one of my favorite YouTubers out there is Miss Kaiju Kim. Good to have you. Good to have you on the Monster Report. How have you been?
I've been good. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, excellent. I was on your show not too long ago. Absolutely grateful to be on that show and talk some kaiju. What we're going to spin the table around and put you under the spotlight a bit.
All right, I'm ready for you.
All right, that's awesome. And I want to make sure that everyone subscribes to Kaiju Kim. Check her out on Twitter. Of course, we're also going to get the chance at the end to reevaluate and re-go over all the social outlets. But if we just had to throw them out real quick, obviously, search YouTube for Kaiju Kim. I put the link in the description. Where else can they find you?
Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Kaiju Kim, and Instagram, Kaiju_Kim. And I'm on Facebook too, but I'm not quite as active on there, but I am on there sometimes.
All right. So, yeah, search her out on there. Always search for Kaiju Kim. The executor dragon is in the house. Do you know him?
I do.
Or her? I don't know.
Hello, executor dragon. How art thou?
All right. Excellent. And as we go along, if you've got questions for Kim, she is here to answer them. And so one of the things that you do on your show, of course, is you have your big 3 questions of how you bring people into your show, bring guests into your show. Your last one had actually been on your show before, so he kind of already had that chance to get that out there. But so how did you get into Godzilla? What's your favorite Godzilla movie and favorite non-Godzilla movie? Turning the tables. Has it ever happened to you?
I think once during my show, I asked my 3 questions to my guest, and then she turned around and asked it back to me. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this.
Kind of
weird. But for the people watching right now who do not know who I am, never seen my face before, so I'll share my 3 answers here. So how I got into Godzilla. So when I was a toddler, my dad put on King Kong versus Godzilla. And at first, I was kind of scared of it because I was a toddler. I get scared of, easily. I also remember him putting on Godzilla King of the Monsters with Raymond Burr, and also Son of Godzilla. And I wasn't scared of those, surprisingly. So throughout my childhood, even though, sometimes I thought, Godzilla was kind of scary, but I always thought he was kind of cool at the same time. So my fascination overpowered my fear, and I've been hooked ever since. My favorite Godzilla movie is the American cut of Godzilla 2000, mainly because it's the first real Toho-made Godzilla film that I saw on the big screen. Also because I love the story, I love the characters, I love the pacing, and I've always thought that particular Godzilla suit looked really cool, so that was part of it, and it's just a perfect Godzilla movie for me. So yeah, my favorite non-Godzilla movie, I have a few, but whenever someone asks me this question, my mind automatically goes to Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. Matter of fact, the whole Gamera trilogy is fantastic. In fact, I got my sister into Gamera by making her watch that trilogy, so yay for that.
Yeah, that's a great starting point for someone who may be not so sure about the giant monster tokusatsu and all of that. And kind of might have their biases. It's not intentional or anything like that. But it's kind of like maybe what I have with I don't know, like sports. It's not my thing, but maybe if I gave it a chance and someone were to sit down and talk to me through it and really get me into it. I just haven't had that. But you had your friend check out the Gamera trilogy, and it wasn't like ooh, I'm never gonna check this out again. What are you showing me?
Like, what are you doing? Yeah, my sister, she grew up with this in the same household with me, obviously, so she knew about Godzilla, but she never really got into it. She always, kind of made fun of it, like, and sometimes rightfully so. But but yeah, I showed her the Gamera trilogy. She's like, wait a minute, I like this. So, yeah.
And your three that that got you into Godzilla, the three movies that you mentioned, interesting that those are the ones you got into Godzilla. So they must have been, they put them on, so they had them on home video, or were they on television?
Yeah, they were on. I specifically remember King of the Monsters being recorded off television, and I remember what the VHS looks like and everything. Had like my dad's crappy handwriting that said Godzilla on it. Like, oh, that's the first movie. Let's watch that one. Fast forward through the commercials and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we got good at recording things off of TV. Son of Godzilla was definitely one that was on TV a lot for me and growing up, and I had it on tape that way. And later it got the Destroy All Monsters was one also that was shown on TV, but we didn't have a good VHS until kind of later to see that actually on demand like we wanted to see. So did you kind of have a familiarity of Godzilla before checking these films out? Maybe just had heard of him, or was this literally boom, there he is?
I mean, I guess that was it, because like I said, I was very young. I was a toddler, so I just put on what my parents put on for me, and whenever my dad was watching us, he put on Godzilla, so it just became ingrained into my brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny, the young kids, we love dinosaurs and the toys and all of those kinds of things, and then it was like when we get into something that's related to all of those things and how kids interact with the different kinds of toys, it's funny, you get into this IP, and it's like, did anyone tell you, well, why aren't you getting into like dolls and things like that?
I mean, I was gonna say, yeah, I was into dolls, but I mean, I had a few dolls, and I was kind of into it, but I was more into like Power Rangers and Godzilla and Pokemon eventually.
I'll share this with you. I remember, I don't know why, but I think my grandparents had given me My Little Ponies. I don't know if they were trying to sensitize me or whatever as a young boy, but the He-Man toys that I had were riding on the My Little Ponies, so riding into battle.
That's the only way to ride into battle.
Yes, on Pinkie Pie or whatever her name was.
I don't know My Little Pony. I missed out on that one.
That's okay. I have daughters, so I'm all too familiar with some of the IP, and so, but I've got boys too. So Executor Dragon, hey, Kaiju Kim, just wanted to say thank you very much for helping me out when I reached out to you. When I did, really saved my butt. Hey, that's awesome. There must be a story there, and only it's up to you if you want to share some of this. If it's personal,
yeah, well, you're welcome, the Executor Dragon. Yes, he had reached out to me to help him with a project that he's working on. I'm like, well, I'm not a really good fit, but I know people who are, so I hooked him up. And as far as I know, things are starting to get going. So good for you, and Executor Dragon. Good luck with your project. I hope it works out for you.
All right, excellent. And that's kind of why I like having other content creators on here. I like to help them out. I like to see if I can bring my audience to them and vice versa, and because it's like sometimes I talk to content creators, never heard of you, and then I'll be like, well, I've never heard of you. Glad we met up.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, exactly. So tell me about your YouTube channel, how you established it, and kind of if you were to describe it for someone who hadn't had the chance to check it out, how do you give me the overview?
Well, I always market my channel as wholesome and delightfully stupid. So take that for what you will. But yeah, I've always had a creative mind. I always try to find a way to express my thoughts, and the way I chose to do that was making videos. And fun fact for anyone who doesn't know, the channel that I have now has been around since 2010, but it was under a different name. And I had this series called Godzilla Blog, where I talked about just some random aspect of the franchise or Godzilla himself. And it was just pictures and text, and music. And this was before I became comfortable in front of a camera. Yeah. And I also did humorously edited Godzilla clips where I just add funny music and sound effects. It was a great time for everybody, or at least I hope so. But yeah, if you go back and watch them, you see it's got like memes and references that are kind of old now, but I still think they're funny. So whatever. Yeah. Other than that, I didn't really pay much attention to this channel. I kind of let it collect dust for a few years. Then I had another channel back in like 2013, 2014, that was centered around female-fronted rock and metal bands like Evanescence, Hailstorm, Nightwish, Within Temptation, etc. Had a review show, had a news show, did vlogs, and yeah, that was fun for about a year. Then I got bored with it. Fast forward to 2020, the pandemic hits, everyone's in quarantine. I'm trying to come up with stuff that, will keep me occupied while I'm stuck in the house. And then I decided that I'm going to revive my old Godzilla channel. And this time I wanted to include other kaiju and not just Godzilla. So I changed my name to Kaiju Kim instead of all Godzilla, all the time, always Kim. And I started doing reviews, video essays. Sometimes I did unboxings and dramatic readings of kaiju-related songs, which is where the delightfully stupid part comes in. Then I discovered live streaming. I've been invited onto a few live streams, and then I decided that I wanted to try it out for myself. So one of the first live streams that I did was kind of an impromptu one. I had gone to a toy show here in New Jersey with my now husband, and I bought a bunch of cool stuff, wanted to show it off, and I also wanted to do a Q&A, and the Q&A I originally wanted to do was going to be an edited video, but then when I filmed it, I didn't like how it came out, so I scrapped it, and I was like, I'll just do it live, whatever. And I named this live stream Chill with Kaiju Kim. So I had fun with that, and I was like, hey, that was fun. I want to do that again. And then the following week, I played Godzilla Domination on a website that I can't remember the name of at the moment, but then the week after that, I had my very first guest, and then from then on out, Chill with Kaiju Kim became a weekly talk show where I talk with other kaiju fans from all walks of life about anything under the sun, as long as it's family-friendly and non-controversial, very much like your show, The Monster Report. Yeah, that's my main thing right now, and I recently started a new series called Kaiju Korner with a K, where I share random thoughts and stories related to my experience with the kaiju genre, and that was a very long answer. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're just great. And I was going to say about Kaiju Corner, I think you crowdsourced the name, right?
I did, yeah.
There was a few choices. I guess the one I may have voted for was the tokusatsu.
Yeah. I was originally going to go with that, but then I was like, Kaiju Corner makes more sense because I'm in a corner with a bunch of kaiju behind me. So
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and I guess sometimes it could be a little too on the nose sometimes. So yeah. What's in the name, right? It's like, and what was the prior YouTube name was a mouthful, wasn't it? It was all Godzilla all the time.
Oh no. That was just a little joke. The prior YouTube name was like before I became Kaiju Kim, it was originally a Liz Dog 5491.
Gotcha. Okay. And it's interesting that you had other interests, obviously, other than Godzilla and Kaiju Tokusatsu, that heavy metal rock stars, things like that. And so, we all kind of have those other IP that we enjoy. You might be Star Trek, Star Wars fans, or I find it's funny that a lot of Godzilla fans are also like wrestling fans, like the WWE and things like that. I'm not, but there's a lot of them out there, and I could see
Yeah, I kind of sort of got into wrestling. My husband's more into it than I am, but I'm a huge fan of Jeff Hardy. Used to have a crush on him when I was like 17.
Okay. Well, and I could see the connection too, because we like to see the brawls. We like to see the fights, even staged fights. So I do see that. And so you did dabble in that, but you came back to kaiju. And it's interesting, in my life and a lot of people I've talked to, they always seem to come back to their first love, which was the big giant monster.
Yep, absolutely. Like something just keeps drawing me to Godzilla. And to quote from my very favorite Godzilla movie, maybe because Godzilla is inside each one of us.
Nice. The 2000.
I always find a way to squeeze that quote in there somewhere.
Yes, there's so many great lines in that, especially like the I'll send flowers.
Oh my god, that cracks me up. I don't know why, it just cracks me up.
I love his John Wayne voice. It's so just, I don't know.
Looks like I'm gonna have to send more flowers.
It almost seems like that would come out of his mouth. I don't know why. It just seems like and if you hear his real voice, it's like, what? I kind of want to go back to the tough guy Western kind of sound.
That's one of the reasons I like the American version better.
Oh, the American version's awesome. Stephen Patrick Lee is in the house. I had Stephen on not too long ago. He is a hoot if you follow him on Facebook. Lots of really great just humor. He's definitely a MST3K kind of guy. So yeah. Anyways, well, talking about kaiju content creation and all of that, I know that you have a background in video like I do. So was that before, after, during, did it get you into YouTube?
Kinda. I mean, yeah, I didn't really discover that I was really into video editing till I was like 15-ish. Mm-hmm. And then I never really pursued a career in it until my mid-20s. So, yeah, but when I was first getting into it, I did make, a few Godzilla videos here and there, along with other stuff that I was into. Like I used to be into this show called Winx Club. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's fairies and magical girls and stuff like that. And Pokemon, made a couple Pokemon videos also, but yeah, that came later in life for me.
Okay. And did you have some influences out there too that kind of pointed you towards content creation? Other content creators?
No one I can mention by name because I don't remember. I was just scrolling through YouTube one day and it's like, oh, this looks cool. This looks cool. Like, hey, I could do that. I got Windows Movie Maker and just yeah.
Yeah. Start from the small beginnings.
Yeah.
And then it just goes up from there.
I eventually graduated to Adobe Premiere Pro.
That's right. And I noticed you've got some really cool opens, intros. You use your lower thirds. You do your cuts, some visual effects. I mean, that makes some great entertaining content. Yeah.
Yep. After Effects has become my best friend as well. So
nice. Yeah.
And Storyblocks, which is where I get my templates.
Oh, good. Yeah. And I was going to say, if there's people out there who have questions about the Adobe software, Kim's your girl. Talk to her, because I am actually more of the Final Cut kind of guy. So I could talk about that a lot, but I kind of go with it just because I know it, grew up with it. And if my starting point was Adobe, I would have been like you and I would have just stuck with it. But I just kind of started with Final Cut and went from there. Can work in Adobe, but still love my Photoshop though.
Oh, yeah. Photoshop's good. That's how I make my thumbnails.
That's right. Yes. And so how do you balance being a content creator and also having a personal life and a career? Because like us content creators, even if I, am here sitting with 90,000 subscribers, it's not my day job. It's not going to pay the bills. So how do you do that? How do you find that balance?
That's a kind of a weird question for me because in a way, like it's weird. Like I'll plan out my week, with my work schedule and time with my family and my friends and my husband and time for YouTube stuff, which is, these days just chill with Kaiju Kim on Sundays. But yeah, like making a plan for my week and actually executing that plan or completely different things. you know, like I'll plan out what I'm going to do that day or what day, and then that day comes and I just don't have the energy or something comes up or whatever. But despite that, it always just kind of works out. And, I've freed myself from having like a certain upload schedule. So that helps. So I just put out videos whenever I feel like it, and people will eventually watch it, you know? So basically, whenever all the stars align, like I have time, I have a video idea, and I have the energy. So yeah, that's when I put stuff out, and like I said, it just kind of balances itself out in a way.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of when you have the time, with the exception of the Sunday. That's a definite schedule. And I think you had like the Kaiju's days, and then like the Godzilla. What was it?
Godzilla Tuesday. Yeah, I used to do that, but I kind of fell off of that because we were talking a little bit about this before we started. Like the reviews and video essays take a lot of brain power, and you gotta write out the scripts, then you gotta get all the footage and edit the video, make it look good, and I love doing that, but it takes a lot out of me. So that's why I started, doing my live streams, because all I gotta do is find a guest, write out a few questions, keep an eye on the chat. And that does take a lot of brain power too, but not quite as much as edited content. And also with my new show, Kaiju Korner, I just kind of like spew thoughts from my brain, and that's a little easier on my brain.
Well, and it's natural. It's just like conversational, and sometimes I find that's funny. That people really do like that. They like the real you, and the scripted is not that it's not the real you. You did script that, but it's not how you might meet somebody. They're not going to stand there and talk to you. Well, in the beginning, this was this and this was that. You're not talking like that, but I do find that people do like that, and when it comes to but it's like I produced something with the video essays, and Steven brought up something there, the Godzilla 2000. We've got movie sign.
We've got movie sign.
With even it being your favorite, I noticed in your video essay of it that you didn't have, even being your favorite, you didn't have a problem pointing out that it's not a perfect film. It's still got its flaws. Do you find sometimes when you criticize even Kaiju content, the official content, the films, the comics, the music, the whatever, if you do criticize, is it well received? Is it good point, or is it you don't know what you're talking about? And
it's a little bit of both, a little bit of everything. Yeah, people like to, be like, they don't like to accept criticism, like, how dare you say something negative about the thing I love, blasphemy. But just pipe down. There's no such thing as a perfect movie. Every movie has its flaws, and that's why I get so annoyed when people trash talk King of the Monsters 2019. And like, listen, I love that movie to pieces. I had a good time watching it in the theater twice, and it was, and then everyone hates it. And I'm just like, but why? Like, I know why, because there are some things about it that don't make sense, like looking back at it, but I still have a good time with it. Like, people need to learn how to have a good time with stuff, and like, acknowledge the flaws, yes, but still find some enjoyment in it if you can.
Yeah, it's not like it was a total, what I want to say, blaspheme. It wasn't a total mismanagement of things. It has its rewarding values, just like you said. Even 2000 has its, but it still has got its rewatchability. It's still one you find yourself keep going back to and watching over and over again. So yeah, Executive Dragon, Mr. Adam. If you are looking for someone else to talk to about Godzilla and Kaiju stuff, hit me up. Be happy to share my work with you. Just throwing it out there. Hey, shoot me a DM or a personal message on Facebook or Twitter. So, and Stephen Patrick Lee loved that movie. I assume he might be talking about 2000. Oh, I did hear about this. King Kong may be part of Disney. Yeah, not sure how I feel about that.
Me neither.
I guess we'll just wait and see.
I guess so. There's so many things that have been announced, and we just like it's just like, oh, we just have to wait and see. Like Apple Plus series, just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Skull Island anime, just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Until it drops,
Yeah.
and we may or may not be disappointed. But hey, cool. It's glad to see some kaiju content still being produced, and still awaiting on that Shin Ultraman. Excited about seeing that. Yeah. Godzilla fan freaks is in the house. Everett, what's up, everyone? I'm glad you're here. Better late than never. So yeah, Everett is another great one that you're gonna have to hit up sometime. He does a lot of reviews of toys, box days, and all of that too. Got a box day coming out for Varan, the Defo reel, sometime soon. So check that out. And I know you don't do the figure reviews, but you got the video essays, vlogs, the live streams. I'm trying to think, the Kaiju Corner, where it's kind of personal stories, isn't it? One of the recent ones you did was your interesting kind of relationship with Destroya, or at least the film Godzilla vs. Destroya. So if with just maybe a brief kind of overview, Destroya has something that I guess either hits home or strikes a nerve. Would you say?
It's that film is kind of an emotional roller coaster for me. Like, I think it's a fantastic film. It wraps up the Heisei era very nicely, but it's depressing. Okay.
Yeah.
It's depressing, and if you watch my video on it, you'll know that there's a little bit of childhood fear involved with my feelings toward Destroya. Long story short, there's a toy that I had, or I think my brother had it, and my parents used it to keep me from going up the stairs because I was very young. I was like a toddler. So instead of using a stair gate, they used this motion censored Godzilla toy, which people keep saying it's the 10-inch Trendmasters toy because that's the only thing with the motion sensor, but it doesn't. That's probably what it is, but it doesn't look familiar to me. But again, that's probably what it is. Maybe it's a Mandela effect thing. I don't know. But yeah, so the way Godzilla looks in Godzilla vs. Destroya kind of reminds me of that toy because his eyes are red and the toy eyes light up red and he roared every time he walked past it. So freaked me out as a kid. So like my brain kind of associates, the two together. And so I have a weird relationship with Godzilla versus Destroya. So.
And the Kaiju Corners, yeah, since it's that personal story, it's not a stream, is it? It's something you pre-record and just get the chance to and to get to know Kaiju Kim better and kind of her relationship with Kaiju, with Godzilla, with with a lot of the stories and how it impacts us personally too. I think that's an interesting approach to it because a lot of us do the kind of same things. We review the movie, we review the figure, but talking on a personal level, how it impacts us, that is truly unique. And I think that's really fun to kind of see that. And that's, the content creator is part of it too. Why we keep coming back to someone's YouTube channel, someone's podcast, their artwork, they put a piece of themselves into that. If they're just designing a toy, there's part of them in that too. Speaking of collections, I know you don't really do much with the box days and things like that, but I know you are a collector, obviously. What do you find yourself making part of your collection? What do you like to surround yourself with?
The boy. Yep. This is the main boy right here. I just bumped my desk. Don't worry about that. I'm making a hot mess. Don't worry about me. All right now. But yeah, I just surround myself with different variations of my boy Godzilla. Yep.
Got some NECA, looks like.
Yes, that I got a few NECAs here, and I got a couple of Bob Eggleton paintings. I don't know if you can see. I don't want to knock over my thing, but can
I
you
see. Yes.
yeah. And yeah, just a bunch of other vinyl stuff, Bandai, whatever. And yeah, and some stuff in my corner that I don't have room for. That's another episode of Kaiju Corner where I talk about all that crap in my corner. Really big.
Maybe Funkos. I don't know if that's what I'm seeing.
I have a couple of Ultraman Funkos. I also have, it's off camera, but I also have this isn't Godzilla, but it's Power Rangers. It's I'll show you. Hold on one second.
Okay.
It's an autographed Green Ranger Funko Pop by Jason David Frank.
Oh, awesome. That is cool.
This is actually one of the things that I showed off on my very first episode of Chill with Kaiju Kim. Yeah, I also have an FYE exclusive. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
I wasn't prepared for this question.
That's so good. We like showing off pieces of our collection, which is awesome.
All right, I actually have two of these. One of them is the FYE exclusive, Heat Ray Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of them glows in the dark. One of them doesn't.
Oh, very cool. I do have one of those. I'm not sure which one I have, if it glows in the dark or not. When I finally do unbox them, I'll have to see. I can't remember. It's funny when I do the videos of anything glow in the dark or light up. It's very difficult to shoot that to make it look like anything that it really looks like, because the camera just doesn't pick up well. But yeah, so some Funkos, Bandai's, NECA, X Plus, any of that?
I have one. Hold on one second. I got this. I love this so much. Look at this.
Oh man.
It's from my favorite Godzilla movie too. I got this for Valentine's Day.
Oh wow. And the purple dorsal fins just make it.
Yes. And he's so small. I love him so much.
I think of the defos like if the supervillain had a pet, it would be a defo reel that he could sit there.
Don't ever talk to me or my son again. Okay. And I just lost all your viewers. Okay.
No, it's all good. Executive Dragon's asking if I have Discord or Twitter. I do have Twitter, so yeah, at the Monster Report. Godzilla Fan Freaks, Everett, very interesting. You just got a new sub.
Yay! Thank you.
Checking out her content, excellent. And it's, I guess in the end, it's not about us so much. It is the content we're pointing them to, but it's personal stories that I think, it's like we can relate to, or maybe we can develop an understanding for. Maybe I didn't have that same reaction to a film, a toy, a piece of music, a whatever, but somebody does. It strikes something deep within them, like 85 with me. That was when I was young. It scared me, but yet I kept coming back. So there is something about that does. And I find that some people relate to that and others are like, what do you mean? Godzilla's not scary. Come on, man. I'm like, well, it's like, but put yourself in the mind of a 3-4-year-old and see what and especially when we didn't have the CGI, stuff that's coming out now. I remember growing up with the Jurassic Park when that came out, and it was just blew away the expectations of what visual effects could be and what a monster, a giant monster in front of our faces could look like. And yeah, I was 10 or whatever, and I was like, cutesy dinosaur, fun dinosaur adventure. What? They eat the lawyer? It's like not exactly what I was expecting going into that, but not disappointed either. So yeah. Do you find yourself getting into some of the other non-Godzilla kaiju, and which ones do you kind of keep coming back to?
Gamera's cool. And I did watch the only non-Godzilla kaiju film that I watched as a kid was Rodan and the original King Kong. So I was into those. And then my dad never really showed me anything else at that age. And I asked him one day, like, why, how come you never showed me, Gamera and stuff like that when I was a kid? And he's like, because I wanted you to be in the Godzilla. I didn't want you to replace there. So, well, he succeeded. But in doing so, he kind of, I missed out on, War of the Gargantuas and Gamera and Varan and all those other fun people. Kaiju.
Yeah.
Kaiju are people too.
And even as you've grown through this, what other kind of maybe either Japanese sci-fi or other films like by Honda or any of these other guys that by Toho, for instance, have you discovered along the way as you've been kind of going into this?
Yes, I've discovered Matango, Space Amoeba, the Mysterians. I think that's as far as I got.
Later on in life, like me, the Gargantuas, right?
Yes, Gargantuas as well. Yeah.
Yeah. That I don't know why I didn't get to see that as a kid. I would have loved it as a kid, but love it even more as an adult, I think, because it's so awesome.
Yeah, as an adult, you appreciate things more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and if we've only got a better human actor, the American actor in that.
Oh yeah.
But it still's got the great fights with Sanda and Gyra.
Yeah,
Gamera is cool.
Indeed.
Gamera's really neat. He is full of
I did a dramatic reading of the MSG3K Gamera song on my channel, so if you want to check that out.
I will have to check that out. Yes.
It's an abridged version, but it's there.
I love the MST3K Jet Jaguar song they do.
I gotta do a reading of that one too.
That is a good one. Donnie Winter is in the house.
Donnie, my twin.
Your twin?
Yeah, it's funny. He and I look nothing alike, but we're alike in every other way, so we call each other twins.
All right, awesome. And Donnie is going to be on my channel soon because he had me on his channel, but he pre-records everything, so that'll air soon. But Donnie, we're going to have to get that scheduled here soon. He's got a great YouTube channel as well, so check that out. He talks about more than just kaiju, talks about a lot of personal life too. We basically have all the same likes, and I love it.
Yep.
Absolutely, Donnie, good to have you in here. And yeah, again, Kaiju Content Creators, and I think it's great that when we don't get into competition with each other, that we actually collab, do crossovers. I know you've done crossovers with some other Kaiju Content Creators. My man Daniel DeMana was on your show not too long ago. And the last one I think was from the another podcast, Kaiju Weekly, right? Or
yeah, Kaiju Weekly, which is sadly ending. Which listen to the episode of why that's a thing. But yeah, had a whole bunch of other people on, like Matt from Monstrosities. I had Norman England on one time. Yeah, just pretty much anyone who wants to come on the show, talk about what they love, hit me up.
Absolutely. And it definitely brings two audiences together, and I think that's great. And of course, G-Fest, you got the chance to be on your first panel this last G-Fest, but you've been an attender in the prior to that, right?
Yes, it was my third G-Fest, but my first time being on a panel.
All right. Yeah, and how was that experience?
It was slightly nerve-wracking. It's like I'm used to like talking to people and people watching me like on my show, but in the panel I was like, oh, I can actually see everyone's faces. Like I can't hide behind the computer screen. So, but it went well. I've been told that I did well. So, and the full panel is available to watch on my channel if anyone's interested. If you have an hour to spare.
And one thing about it is you don't get the chance to see the crowd. I imagine that this year, because G-Fest had a bit of a hiatus, that it was well attended this year. There was also in a new hotel. Was the whole experience, the crowd, kind of a real blessing to get that back again?
It felt so good, especially now that I have kind of an internet presence. And I got stopped a few times, like, "Are you Kaiju Kim? Oh my gosh, can I get a picture?" I was like, "Am I a celebrity?"
Autographs will be at the table, $50 a piece.
No flash photography, please, thank you.
Yeah, and there is some of that too. You gotta admit it. That's part of it too. But it's because it's. I want to tell people you can do this too. You know, you got a passion for it. You got a computer. I mean, you know, even a cell phone. You can do this. You can get your own.
Just do it.
Yeah, just get it started and see where it goes from there. You could just say, "Yeah, it wasn't me," but you know, it's also funny going back to your video side of things. You know, getting in front of the camera, being behind the scenes. I always kind of share with people that I thought I'd never be in front of the camera. That's why I'm going into the industry, to always be the creative background person. So I'll never end up, but it never worked out that way because invariably you're gonna end up in front of the camera. Did you kind of have that I don't know, shyness or camera fright beforehand, like, what am I doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I used to have a very low self-esteem. I still have kind of a low self-esteem, but it's a little higher now. But I used to think I was like really ugly, and I hated the way I spoke. Like, my speaking voice is like lower than most, females, so I was always a little self-conscious of that. But I eventually got over it, as you can tell.
Yeah, and developing an audience that that you can interact with, like we're doing here, and seeing, getting feedback and all that. And I think largely you get some good feedback, but every once in a while you say something like you give the credits to the wrong actor or music director or whatever, and they just jump down your throat, right?
God forbid you make an error. Good Lord.
Or you didn't point out a simple fact that was in front of your face, and it's like, yeah, I miss obvious things sometimes.
yeah, that happens. Well, what can you do? I'm only human.
sorry about being human. But with that, going forward, any goals, things we could look forward to seeing next on your channel coming up?
Well, I do plan on doing some more episodes of Kaiju Korner, so look out for that. I have a few video ideas for that. I can't talk. I've had a rough day, but I'm also gonna do more episodes of my series "How Did I Miss This," where I react to a toku show that I've never seen before. I've been meaning to get back into that, although I have to battle with the copyright gods for that one, so that's a little less likely. But I'll try to make it happen.
Yeah,
Just look out for more stuff like that. More Kaiju Corner, mostly, definitely, and chill with Kaiju Kim, of course. That's not going away.
and of course on Twitter, you do like polls, throw questions out there.
Yeah. I get insight from people like, hey, what do you guys want to hear me talk about? Or like, oh, what do you think about this? Fine, yada yada.
Yeah, absolutely. Executive Dragon having serious doubts before I fully committed to trying to create Godzilla Kaiju content or content at all. But thanks to a friend over on Discord, I got a kick in the pants that I need. Executive Dragon, give us your your channel, your whatever. I don't know what his outlet is, but I'd like to check it out. So absolutely, send us a link. Godzilla fan freak skimming your content, Kim. We'll be checking out your Chill with Kaiju Kim videos. He has a similar stream on his Kaiju Chill O'Clock, but it's nothing ever specific for a topic. He does a daytime show, so I usually catch that kind of in between work breaks and things, so I try to check that out. But yeah, it's a kind of go with the flow type of show. So yeah, absolutely check that out. And yes. Oh, so Executive Dragon, you do animation. Excellent. Excellent. I'd like to check that out. That is one thing that I have not dabbled in. One day, maybe, probably not. I don't know. I'm getting old. It takes a special kind to be able to do that kind of craft. But so yeah, looking forward to seeing the new content that you've kind of got coming out. You planning on going to G-Fest, I imagine, again? Any other kind of cons or appearances?
Not anytime soon. I did want to go to All Monsters Attack in Indiana, but money, don't have it.
Right after G Fest, right?
Yeah. and got rent, bills, stuff, adult responsibilities, and all that other nonsense. Ugh.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as supporting your channel, subscribing and all of that, do you do any of the other Patreon or anything like that?
I did have a Patreon, but I don't think I didn't create enough bonus content for it to be worth it. So I'll eventually start it up again because I need to pay for my StreamYard account. But yeah, for now I'm just kind of self-funded.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, and that's where I'm coming from too, and a lot of content creators. But yeah, if you do get that started up again, yeah, and are able to make that happen, yeah, people should definitely support you. But you're supporting by subscribing and liking the
I do
content.
have merch too, but that
Oh.
I don't really push that much because I'm like, but if you go on TeePublic and look for Kaiju Kim, maybe you'll find me. Yeah, on there.
T-shirts, what else?
T-shirts, pins, stickers, mugs, yeah, that kind of stuff.
All right, excellent. So keep producing that content, and we'll give you another chance before we close out here to get another plug for all your social outlets. But before we get to that, StreamYard, interesting. Yeah, that has been a lifesaver, hasn't it? Just being able to produce. Before that, you didn't do the live streams or Skype or other.
No, I did dabble in the built-in YouTube live stream thing once. Like that was like my very first time doing a live stream, but like that stream is like private, not to be seen by anybody, by any human. But StreamYard is so much better and it looks so professional and it's just fantastic and it's easy to use. And any fool can use it.
Yeah, it's so just. Yeah, it's so perfect for what we're doing here, actually, and to make things look professional and all that. But yeah, tried Skype for a while, tried that, Facebook Messenger and doing screen recording. It was just wonky and difficult to make happen and get the audio just right, and never just worked. And this just works. I know what I was going to ask you earlier. The chance to going to G Fest and other places. The guests that they have brought, you've had the chance to meet through going to these cons and interacting with them.
Well, I did have the honor of meeting Akira Takarada back in 2019. So I'm very glad to have done that. I was so sad when he passed away, weren't you?
Yes. I only met him once, and my daughter had the chance to meet him too. It was a wonderful experience. Just a sweet man. And he was right there next to Linda Miller. So I'm like, oh, right. It's just two of the three big ones from King Kong Escapes there. And it's just awesome to see him. And he lived a long life and knew his fans well. And it was like, to lose him was a huge blow. Him and Mr. Nakajima,
I sadly did not get to meet Nakajima, but I did get to meet Megumi Odaka at Chiller Theater 2017.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, and this most recent G Fest, I actually had lunch next to Tomoko Ai.
Oh, really?
I had actually just finished my lunch, but she came by as I was sitting. Then her friend went to go get her a sandwich or something, and I was like, Tomoko. She has a brief cameo in my day 2 G Fest vlog.
Okay, we'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So did you get the chance to interact with her a little bit?
I did. I spoke to her with the little bit of Japanese that I know, and she said my Japanese is good.
Oh, excellent. Wow. And you have probably forgotten more Japanese than I have ever learned. So I'm terrible with the language, every once in a while. When I hear like the word no, I think it means no. In the Japanese, I think it's the word of, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like,
or it's a connector.
Like owning something like
Yeah.
Gojira no, that's like Godzilla's, whatever.
Yeah, it's an ownership, it's a connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when I hear that, just like in Spanish and French and a lot of these European language, no means no, but in Japanese, it means something completely different. So I've like, Godzilla knows something. It's like Godzilla doesn't have this. Is that what that means? No, it means
No.
not even close.
Yeah.
So yeah, one day we learn a little bit more than domo arigato, right?
Domo arigato.
Yes. Yeah, all these Americans who go around and just say that, and they're, yeah, great.
I mean, at least get the accent right.
But and Megumi Odaka, did you get the chance to speak with and interact?
Yes, I got to speak with her a little bit, and Takarada-san as well.
Yeah, and I know you have a great impression of Takarada-san. I imagine Miss Odaka, just very loving and caring with the fans.
Oh yeah, everyone I've met has just been so sweet and so loving and caring. Like there's just like they love their fans, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, I have yet to find any of the Japanese cast members that don't enjoy the experience that they have with their American audience. And a lot of them have actually said, I've heard, they may not get the crowds like they do when they come over here to the U.S. They don't get the kind of wild, just jumping up and down and applauding them when they do a panel or whatever. I just remember Mr. Nakajima at before it was All Monsters Attack. Essentially, it's Days of the Dead, and they had all the different Jason Voorhees and Linda Blair and horror movie. Great cast members there, and they had their decent lines. But there's Mr. Nakajima's line, and it's going out the door. This frail old 80-something-year-old man, who's just signing everything in sight. Just an amazing life that he's led, and and getting the chance to meet him was an honor. But I know, I almost didn't. It was his last con, but being able to meet Mr. Kitagawa, and then I know you probably get the chance to meet some of them, and maybe we'll get the chance to meet Satsuma at some point too. I've not had the chance to, but some of these guys that have lived it, been in it, we don't want to say we idolize them, but the franchise has impacted our lives, and to say that we've been there in their presence, breathe the same air, there's just something special about that. Did you get any kind of picture autographs or a toy autograph by any of them?
Yes, you can't see it. Let me see if I can pan over here, but if you can see all the way over here, autographed Megumi Odaka from that's a screenshot from Godzilla vs. Biollante, and autographed by Takarada-san, a screenshot from what's it called, the original 1954 film.
Oh, excellent.
That's awesome.
Yes. And of Odaka and all of the films she was in, would you say Biolante's probably the favorite?
Yeah, I would say that, because Biollante is my favorite non-Godzilla kaiju, so I guess that would be a accurate statement.
Yeah, favorite villain. Yeah, and a female villain. Yeah,
Indeed,
a lot of people forget that. It's Biollante. I got him. No, you got her. Yes, young Erica and her spirit and the rose and the
yes
and the Godzilla cells. So all working together. So we'll wrap this thing up and give you the chance one more time to plug away at the YouTube and all the other social outlets that you have. Where can people follow you?
All right. On YouTube, I'm Kaiju Kim. On Twitter, I'm Kaiju Kim. On Instagram, I'm Kaiju_Kim. And I also have a Facebook page that I don't really use that often, but I'm going to try and use more, called Kaiju Kim. And that's where you can find me. All
right. Search Kaiju Kim. You will never go wrong.
Indeed.
Yes, absolutely. Kim, it has been a pleasure having you on the show, kind of picking your brain about your channel, and I really hope that you'll get to that. You're going to get to that not just 1,000 milestone, but beyond. I know it's going to grow, and you're going to keep producing great content. and it's really going to pay off for you in the long haul, because you definitely got the heart for it, and that's what I can definitely tell in a kaiju content creator. Godzilla Fan Freaks is one also that I, just one of my great friends that I've made through this experience, and never had the chance to meet in person yet. One day, at a con or whatever, I'll meet Everett, I'll meet Donnie, I'll meet.
I've met Donnie. He's such a sweetheart. I love him so much.
At G-Fest, right? Yeah, he was there. Okay, yeah. And I'll meet all of these. We'll have a great YouTuber or content creator panel again, and it may need to be broken into two, because you had a pretty crowded table there.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Yes, absolutely. And everyone get the chance to follow Kaiju Kim. I put a link to her YouTube in the description of this. And for me, Nick Adam Poling, and Kaiju Kim, this has been another episode of the Monster Report Live. We will all catch you later. Have a great day, evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Thank you so much.
Bye.